after the fact, there's a few things that I do to get it ready for a service. I have announcement slides that play during pre-service. So that's from announcement background. Oops, remove this. What this is it'll set the center screen to show whatever welcome slide we want to use for this week. And then grab the actual announcements item from the library. And that will show all of the different available pre-service slides. So the way that it's built is you click on this one up here to set the background, and then click on the announcement slides, and it will just work and jump from one to the next with a nice fade until we get to the first song. And then it will so if we have a background video here, let's just grab a random one. We just drag it on top of here, and as soon as I click this, it's going to clear everything else. And see, it's not the right multi-screen setting right now, but it will clear what's on there before. I'm going to clear this real quick. So I've said multi-screen setting a few times, and that's because with us having 3 screens, we don't always want everything on every screen. We might not want certain things on certain screens. So I'm just gonna pull this up like this and run through some multi-screen stuff. If you go to preferences and then multi-screen, it's going to show different multi-screen settings that we have. Lyrics default. Okay, so you just saw this background jump to all 3 screens with the words on each of the screens. And this is where you adjust what you want on what screen. So for lyrics, if we only want them on the center, then I'm going to uncheck these if that's what we're going to use for lyrics default. And then video image, I can just set it to show up on whatever screen. You won't normally have to mess with these, but it's just good to know where you go to change those settings. So if we want to pull one of the multi-screen settings and set a cue so that when we click on a certain slide, that it will it'll cue that multi-screen setting to show when you click that slide. We're going to go right click, add multi-screen settings cue, and then we'll say lyrics default. So as soon as we click on this slide, it's going to go to lyrics default. If we want a different one for the next slide, which we won't normally do, we'll try that one. So when we click here, we can see that things change and the words only show up on the side. So there's different cues that you'll learn. The ones we use the most are lyrics default for the songs, and then Bible typical, which will keep like an image background but align all the slide words to the left so they're easier to read for a Bible verse. That's pretty much it for multi-screen settings. I guess for anyone starting this from scratch, I would just first of all grab the general arrangement and just remember that you drop this down or open this slider, and you can drag and drop these things. If we don't want a chorus here, for example, we click the X. Just using this is the most basic and most helpful thing, because it's just a task that is often thought of as not a big deal, but in reality it takes a lot of time because we have to sit here and listen to the band and make sure that everything's set in place. So I would say that that's the most useful thing to concentrate on, is arranging these slides and putting them in order. If we want to create a new slide or create like a new group, say the worship leader wants to go off and do some different lyrics for a part, we're going to highlight kind of where we want it. We just click on the side and drag, and it will bring a blue box around the slide, and then hit this plus button, and it'll drop a new slide in right after that. And let's say that they're going to add a new like tag to the end of this song. So we're going to create a new group and then tag. And then we can see that up here there's a tag thing right here that we can drop anywhere that we want. That's it for this lesson. I will be making a few more on how to start up the lighting computer, and how to keep track of, or how to upload sermons to the website.